In this video, I'm going to be working on getting this 57 Chevy sedan delivery running. I bought this car for parts, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to see if I can get it going. It's sitting on a four-wheel drive Chevy truck frame. It has a 454 Big Block Chevy with a SM465 transmission and an MP205 transfer case. It looks like this used to be a running, driving, four-wheel drive vehicle, but someone has taken the four-wheel drive axles out of it and put in a beam axle, and I think the rear is a Dana 60. Here's the beam axle that was temporarily put in the front of this thing. It's an 8-lug axle, and I believe it's out of an old Chevy truck. I plan to use that axle in a rat rod that I'm going to build. These are the axles that I'm going to put in this car. It's a Dana 60 and a 14 bolt out of a Chevy 1-ton truck. Here's the inside of the car. It has the truck steering column. There's the shift levers. The front floor pan is pretty rusted out, but the rest of the car doesn't have a lot of rust. The quarter panels are pretty beat up, but the roof, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Here's the engine. It's a 454. It has an Airson gear drive for some reason. It's got some kind of aluminum intake. I have no idea what kind of internal parts are in this thing. It could just be a stock 454. It's got a quadrajet carburetor on it, and I found this old air cleaner sitting around that fits on it, so I'm going to use that. The radiator was mounted outside of the support here, and they cut out where the corners go to make it fit. So I need to look around and see if I have a radiator that will fit in that spot. The first thing that I'm going to do is look this thing over. I'm going to check the oil. I'm going to look for any cracks or bad freeze plugs or broken parts, anything else that might cause this thing to not run. And I might pour in some water to check for leaks. The oil's a little dark, but otherwise it looks really good. I don't see signs of moisture or any metal. Okay, so I looked everything over, got all the wires out of the way. Everything looks good, so I hooked up my remote starter and I got a battery. And let's see if this thing will turn over. Alright, it turns over. It seems like it's got some bad teeth on the flywheel. The next thing I'm going to do is disconnect the fuel line from the fuel pump that runs to the tank and connect another line that I'll run to a fuel can. And I'm going to see if the fuel pump is pumping any fuel. I tried to clean the fuel filter and fix the leak, but it didn't work, so I'm going to replace it. Okay, I got the new filter in. I like to use these clear filters because you can see if the fuel's flowing and you can see if there's a bunch of junk in there. Battery's been on the charger. I got the ignition hooked up, so let's see if it'll run. Okay, it ran pretty well. It idles, seems like the accelerator pump's working. I don't see any coolant leaks, no fuel leaks. You can definitely hear the gear drive making noise. I found a radiator that will fit in this spot that was trimmed out by the previous owners. And I found a set of used hoses that I think will work. So I need to put that all together and seal up the thermostat, and hopefully I don't end up with any leaks. The radiator hoses are connected, and I put a strap around the radiator because the mounts don't hold it in very well. And now I'm going to finish filling it up with coolant. I don't see any leaks yet. It's not under pressure, but it looks good so far. I'm in the back working on the fuel tank. Luckily there's pretty good access here. I hooked up this little hand pump to see if I could pump anything out of it, and it's mostly empty, but there is some bad gas in the bottom. So I'm just gonna pull this sending unit out and clean it up a little better. The tank's not as bad as I thought it would be inside, so I'm just going to put it back together and fill it up with gas and call it good. I pulled this sock off this sending unit, and it's actually got it's more full of junk on the inside than it is on the outside, and it's got a bunch of holes in it and it's all rusty, so I'm just going to leave that off. The sending unit's back in. I just need to connect the fuel line to the fuel pump. Okay, I've got the battery connected and the ignition is off. I'm going to turn it over and see if I can get it to pull fuel from the tank. Looks like it's working. All right, let's see if it'll start. It's burning off some brake fluid that I spilled. But it's pulling fuel from the tank. The fuel filter looks pretty clean still, so that's good. I think it runs well enough that I'm going to move forward with putting the axles in and getting it driving. I still need to get the brakes hooked up and working and the clutch set up. Okay, that's it for this video. I need to do some cleaning up, and I need to order some parts for the steering and brakes, and then in the next video I'll be putting the 1-ton axles in this thing. If I can get it to run and drive, I'll bolt on some big tires and we'll go have some fun with it. Thanks for watching.